Supreme Court allows Ukraine, China, Philippines returnees to clear MBBS exam in India.
Hello, foreign Indian medical graduates, welcome to my YouTube channel. Here is an update from the court direction in the matter of Indian medical students who have returned from Ukraine, China and Philippines in their midway of studies due to COVID-19 and war situations. It appears that the ordeal of these students have come to a closure at last. Though some of the students feel let down, this court verdict addresses a part of their grievances as a one-time measure, particularly the penultimate year of students. The court last December advised the central government to constitute an expert committee to look into these issues and to come with a possible solution to help these students. On its advice, on December 30th, an expert committee was constituted under the chairmanship of the Director General of Health Services, and the expert committee report was placed before the Supreme Court of India. The Supreme Court of India allowed the students of these countries in their penultimate year of study to clear their MBBS subjects in 2 attempts as per the existing NMC syllabus without being registered in any Indian medical colleges. These students have theory as well as practical examination in part 1 and part 2. The theory examinations would be conducted centrally and physically, whereas the practical examination will be conducted at designated centers as per the assignment given to the authorities. The court modified its recommendation and allowed 2 attempts instead of 1 attempt as suggested by the central government in its expert committee report. After clearing this examination, these students have to undergo 2 years internship, 1 year free internship and another year with paid internship. This is the suggestions given by the Supreme Court of India as per the expert committee report. Let me look into the video now.
Supreme Court allows repatriated foreign medical students in penultimate year to clear final examinations in 2 attempts. This is from a media report. The Supreme Court on Tuesday, that is last March 28th, disposed of a batch of petitions by repatriated Indian medical students from Ukraine, China, the Philippines, etc. after the central government informed the court that as a one-time extraordinary measure, penultimate year students would be allowed to take the MBBS examination without being enrolled in any Indian medical colleges. The court allowed such students to clear the MBBS final examination in 2 attempts, modifying the center's suggestion of allowing them 1 attempt. A division bench was hearing the pleas of medical students who were unable to complete their education abroad owing to intervening circumstances such as COVID-19, travel restrictions in China or Philippines, or the outbreak of hostilities between Russia and Ukraine. Their common plea was to be accommodated in the Indian medical education architecture as an extraordinary humanitarian measure. The bench had earlier urged the Union government, together with the National Medical Commission, to find a solution to address this human problem. An expert committee was directed to be constituted to examine this issue. On Tuesday, Additional Solicitor General for India informed the bench that keeping in view this request, a committee formed by the government had taken a decision to accommodate medical graduates in their penultimate year who were compelled to return from Ukraine or China and continue their education remotely. The recommendations of the committee, which was accepted by the center, were as follows. Single chance to clear the MBBS final both Part 1 and Part 2 examinations, theory and practical, as per existing and guidelines without being enrolled in any of the existing Indian colleges within a period of 1 year. Students would be eligible to take Part 2 examination only after Part 1 is cleared and 1 year has passed. The theory examination would be conducted centrally and physically on the pattern of Indian MBBS examination, while the practical examination would be conducted by designated government medical colleges assigned the responsibility. Completion of a 2-year-long compulsory rotatory internship after clearing the 2 examinations, the first year of which would be free and the second year paid as decided by the NMC. It was also clarified that the recommendations were a one-time emergency measure and could not be the basis for future decisions. Despite the government's decision to carve out an exception for the aggrieved petitioners, their counsel questioned the proposals on a number of grounds. Irrespective of the laudable objective, the Union government had successfully erected yet another hurdle for the students. The council claimed, in particular, they highlighted the difference in the syllabi prescribed by the National Medical Commission and that followed in foreign medical institutions and raised alarm over the insufficiency of a single attempt to clear the examination. The council exclaimed, "This is not like the All India Bar examination that if you fail, you will still have your LLB degree. If these students do not clear the examination, they will be left with nothing." The bench refused to be swayed by the impassionate pleas of the council and clearly expressed its unwillingness to interfere with a decision by a committee of experts. At the same time, the bench acknowledged that mandating that students had only one attempt to take the examination was an area of concern. As such, it agreed to incorporate one minor modification by allowing such students to have not one but 2 attempts to clear the MBBS examination. We accept the report of the committee, subject to a minor modification in paragraph 5(1) in the said paragraph, the student being offered a single chance to clear MBBS final, both Part 1 and Part 2 examination, be read as students being offered single 2 chances to clear both Part 1 and Part 2 examinations, theory and practical. We clarify that the 2 chances will be for both Part 1 and Part 2 examination, the bench ordered. The bench clarified that the order is passed considering the special circumstances of the matter. Besides this, the court also dismissed a plea against a circular retrospectively requiring foreign medical graduates without clinical training to undergo a compulsory rotatory medical internship for 2 years instead of 1, rejecting singles contention that the retrospective application was the 2-year internship mandate was arbitrary. The bench further disposed of a petition by medical students from 1st to 4th years who had to return home after the Russia-Ukraine war broke out and were attending online classes. Senior advocate appearing for the aggrieved students argued that there was no provision for such students in the affidavit filed by the government. The bench, however, refused to issue any directions, saying that the petitioners would be at liberty to approach the court after graduating. This petition is completely premature and only after the petitioners graduate from the respective foreign medical colleges would a question arise as to whether they can appear in the foreign medical graduate examination. This is not the first batch of writ petitions of its kind. In April of last year, a division bench headed by Justice had directed the National Medical Commission to frame a scheme to allow students of the batch 1520 who were unable to undergo their clinical training to complete it in medical colleges identified by the Council, while hearing an appeal against a Madras High Court direction to allow such a student to be provisionally registered. In December, while hearing similar petitions by foreign medical graduates of the batch 1621, the top court left it to the Centre and the National Medical Commission to find a solution, but urged them to look at the problem from a humanitarian angle. This is the case pertaining to Architra and others, National Medical Commission, writ petition civil number 601 of 2022 and other connected matters. Thanks for watching. For updates, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.